Yeah, love being able to read here with the pen and pencil, just because it's so chill, you know, we can just kind of be here. With that, I kind of want to do a little bit of experimentation. I just released a new book called Bird Diz. Yeah. And it's kind of like a chronicle, a history of bebop in erasures.
Highly redacted.
Highly redacted. Erasures, redactions, and kind of like commentary on different videos. It's meant to be a music project, and I've been kind of like trying to piece together different pieces of it. So I want to try out a little bit of that stuff with y'all today, if y'all would have it. I have no idea, it might fall completely apart. But y'all here, you with me? You'll be able to go, yeah, whatever happens. All right, let's do it. Okay, cool. So we got a couple. In between miles, before miles grew a variation or virtuoso, necessary and inevitable. Revolution generates, rebels, or reacts to the preceding night. A flowering Malcolm, when this occurs, is no more a matter of dates than one of ideology. Writers in common, and common writers find he is well endowed, in literary terms, of course, dubbed comic, lost coming. They are wolf, and they are heart. The jazz was restless, a place of authority, overthrowing swing, a change to difficult, a change from straight, a fragmented brass, more closely related to now.
And this West Indian girl had just come to the United States, and she was looking at people and she was trying to me. She didn't have a job, so she was walking up on the 21st Street. And as she's walking up on the street, she heard this. Song, a rhythm from the West Indies, which I made a record on, and she stopped, and she felt it home, and then she stopped.
Charlie Christian, 1941. After they're taking away, everything you touch becomes a drum. At Milton's, this simple alchemy took the form of a creole of swing, scat sounds, and the blues, cats flexing chords between gigs and arpeggio rungs and tongues, friends in this Harlem cafe called Christian's guitar playing, very horn-like for the way he plucked their valves open and shut. Texas born, OK City raised after busking in the deep deuce, there is a rhythm that comes. Nothing to do but dance in the streets for money, thread together strings of your dead dad's hand-me-downs, boredom and livelihoods in play. They yelled, "Put Charlie on!" in his teens, and no one wants to hear them old blues. His electric echoed down the street, inside solos lost to time. He died at 25. The year after this recording was pressed. Nonetheless, the notes of his arrangement were cited in monk classics. Years after, though, shifted to an atonal C-sharp at the time, the TB spread through Christian's lungs, emaciated his face, and thus forced what others blew very soon to be shaped by his strum. This poem is for Charlie Parker. It's called Game 5, but 1941, and on a bar stage high. He almost landed most nights. Most nights he almost landed. Man, he would be up and under a side street, either to play or swing, either to play or on or turn. Bird was a Jordan on drums, on a current of drums. Jordan was a bird, fertile fingers, packed, the composition collapsed from the shock. Max Roach and Abby Lincoln, 1964. Black woman, there and gone like a ghost, no words. If you need words to say tears, you not crying. Don't say the word crying if you want to learn pain. Bald like the sun died, bald like a shaved head, sackclothed eyes, tears bleeding down your collarbone. Crying is also a bouncing forward if you have no choice but to work, running until you burst in a clean white room. Something like a cross is in the background of this Belgium stage, but strung out like a gutted piano, and we hear the piano itself now, dignified and swung, short solos, minor chaotic clusters that land on a warm minor spread. The bass line in loops at the low end of the scale and jumps back, Sisyphus again, crisp black, funeral suits on, everyone but Lincoln, where has she gone? Empty mic where a black woman sung, afro like a halo, no words when the tom comes crashing, how effortless and precise the rage. Muscles smoothed like sand dunes under Roach's face, flexed and released in his hands. Where does it go? I went to Johannesburg 55 years after this recording. I've never seen a city more under siege. Never seen a flow of citizens so scared to walk the streets. Anytime electric fences surrounding yoga studios now, white Africans at drum circles telling me they were colorblind. Black Americans at Afro-Punk, drunk in front of guards with semi-automatic guns scanning for Zulu boys. Flying into Johannesburg, the township roofs are made of jutting slabs of corrugated steel. The town made out of tents. In the sun, the glint of those shanty towns cuts your eyes, slits it clean. Extension cords snake through center block holes down streets with no names, and just as quick, the township disappears under landing gear. A captain says, "Welcome home." The hi-hat lands steady on the whole notes. Roach scatters a chaotic roll on the hinge where the top half is loose. The sax player's face frowns a tight fart. Snare rims pop a baseball bat on the right edge near the skin. Screech a preacher's noise. Not a bead of sweat. Fade out into Lincoln's face again, screaming for the last movement. Screaming out a final wordless prayer. There were two distinct things. Bird, anything he played, what was he doing? Dizzy, responsible, a pattern that smart. What he was doing is going forward. Bird late. I'll go home a changing person. Dizzy peer and age miles, names and names and names and art. Bird, luck and a Valentine. What is he doing? Dizzy art, the drummer solos and pop. Bird, unfortunate and general, dizzy efforts to the music. Bird, general, dizzy balances between the sections of a changing person. Bird, reduced like life, or dizzy, life-like excitement, but still decidedly lo-fi. This poem is called Bird Would Go With Them. Charlie was drinking, and was drinking down, and was drinking the relaxed circumstances, and was drinking for the desire, and was drinking to counteract the desire for drugs, and was drinking drugs, and was drinking the symptoms of this at this stage, and was drinking on to the stage, and was drinking drugs, becoming ideas onto the stage, and was drinking the stage, and was drinking to perform less, and was drinking to perform Carnegie Hall shared, and was drinking to function physiologically without becoming re-addicted, and was drinking to get up, and was drinking drugs pushed from the wings onto the stage, asleep in the bath, and broke, and was drinking to counteract the desire to drug time. Quick, someone would know where something real good is at 5 or 6, and Bird would go with them. 2 more poems. Y'all are perfect. So this last, obviously, the live figures of this time, even those that are famous, ended so tragically. But not Dizzy Gillespie. He lived to a ripe old age. This is the oldest of the recordings that I found of him. It's called Unicorn. And it was filmed in 1981. In the final version of this, let's see. Let me see a little bit of it. This is Dizzy Gillespie's fat ass. Unicorn. Starting with a cane bangled with cowrie luck, you can sashay an old body like a fringe skirt. You can have a fat ass at 70 and conduct. You can strut your most obvious joy. You can, in a room full of whiteness, turn your back and let your khakis flare to the funk of your arrangement. You can live with the house lights blaring and sleep in the black in between. You can die vibrating. The audience loves you, and the audience needs you, and the audience doesn't care. The audience isn't there. Look how long they wait. The math is a splash of color and a conversation with a foreign kin. You have already won if you're dancing by yourself. Explain the answer in a wave that penetrates the skin. Laugh as it disappears, all of it. Oh Allah and Jesus and Bai and Buddha, in my eyes now turning in. Oh rhythm, our merged language, oh unicorn. Oh great bird of science and religion, flopping towards our distant common home. It's the last poem. We did a similar kind of persuasion. Bebop themes are all familiar. Nothing dated about play. This death, firm and valued, how feather and film this image, this most moving of plays, the funeral service. Most of us didn't even know until it began to blow gently from the back, an image, the most beautiful playing ever heard. Recordings are attentions to perception. In every attention, it sounds somewhat apart from the main playing. This isn't, strictly speaking, a jazz work at all, but a suite. Thank you.